Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about surface area and volume word problems. Let's take a look. So some words that represent volume and surface area. For volume, we have filling or full, capacity, inside, anything that deals with liquids, air, or space, cubic, and then for surface area we have wrapping, painted areas, outsides, cover, and squared or square units. Okay, on this one it says Brittany is going to cover the label on a Pringles can and decorate it for Easter. The can has a diameter of 4.5 inches and a height of 14 inches. She only needs to cover the label, not the top or bottom of the can. What is the minimum amount of paper needed? Leave your answer in terms of pi. So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that it says cover. I'm seeing that it's talking about a label. So being that we're covering it, that means we're going around the outside. So that's telling us we want surface area. Now if you remember the formula for surface area of a cylinder, it's S equals 2 pi r squared plus pi dh. Now thinking about this, that 2 pi r squared is talking about the top and bottom circles. And in this case, it says we're not covering the top or bottom. So we actually don't need that section of this. So we don't need that 2 pi r squared, we just need the pi dh part. So in this case, we have our pi, we have our diameter of 4.5, and we have our height of 14. And pi times 4.5 times 14, we'll get 63 pi. And so now it says leave your answer in terms of pi. So the minimum amount of paper needed is 63 pi. And keep in mind this is inches, and we're talking about surface area, so inches squared of paper. Let's take a look at another one. Alright, so this one says, Brooke has a triangular prism-shaped piece of chocolate. Layla has a square prism-shaped piece of chocolate. Which piece of chocolate, shown below, has more chocolate? Justify your answer. So thinking about this, the chocolates are solids, so we're talking about the volume. Because we don't want to know the covering, we want to know the inside, which is how much chocolate is total. So since it's talking about the inside, we're talking about volume. So for a triangular prism, its volume equals the area of the base, which is 1/2 base times height, times the length of the prism. So in this case, we have 1/2. The base is 4. The height of the triangle is 3, times the length of the prism, which is 11. Now, half of 4 is 2 times 3, so we have 2 times 3 times 11, which is 6 times 11, which you get 66, and in this case, centimeters cubed. So 66 cubic centimeters of chocolate. Now for this rectangular prism, so now we're looking at the volume equals our length times our width times our height. So remember the area of the base is length times width times the height of the prism. So here we have 3 times 3 times our height of 4. We'll get 3 times 3 is 9 times 4, and 9 times 4 is 36 cubic centimeters of chocolate. So Brooks has more chocolate because it has a higher Brooks has more chocolate since it has a higher volume. Alright, let's take a look at one more. Alright, so this one says, find the maximum amount of water that can fill the trough below. So looking at this one, I'm seeing the word fill, so I know it's volume. So remember the volume, and this is half of a cylinder, so volume of the cylinder is pi r squared times the height. And now in this case, we're going to divide that by 2 because it is half of a cylinder. So pi times our radius, which is half of that 2.5, so that's 1.25 squared times our 10 whole over 2. Now I'm going to square the 1.25 to get pi times 1.5625 times 10 all over 2. Now I'm going to plug in 3.14 for pi. And I'm just going to do 3.14 times 1.5625 times 10. And I'm going to get 49.0625, and that's over 2. So once I divide that by 2, I get our volume, which is 25.53125. And in this case, it is feet, so feet cubed, so cubic feet. So the maximum amount of water, max water, is 25.53125 cubic feet of water. Alright, let's take a look at one more. A movie theater designs 2 bags to hold 96 cubic inches of popcorn. Find the height of each bag. So if each bag is 96 cubic inches, so that's our volume, because it says cubic inches, and also because it's filling it. Now you're finding the height. So we have volume equals length times width times height. And we know that our volume is 96, so I'm going to plug in 96 equals 3 times 4 times h. So 96 equals 12h. To solve for h, I divide by 12. And 96 over 12 gives us 8. So 8 equals our height. That's 8 inches. And that is for bag A. So now for bag B, we do the same thing. 96 equals, now it's 4 times 4 times h. And that's 96 equals 16h. And 96 over 16, we get 6. So now we know that this height is 8 inches. We know that this height is 6 inches. Now it says, what bags should the theater use to reduce the amount of paper needed? So if you remember, and this is the amount of paper needed, so that's going to be the outside, so that's our surface area. So we need to find the surface area of each. So for a rectangular prism, we've got 2 times the length times the width, but our length times the width finds our top and bottom. So we just need length times width plus 2 times the width times the height plus 2 times the length times the height. Okay, so that gets our front and back and our 2 sides, left and right. So I'm going to do that for bag A. So length times the width is 3 times 4 plus 2 times our width, which is 3, times our height, which is 8, plus 2 times our length, which is 4, times our height, which is 8. So now I'm simplifying that. I've got 12, and then we've got 2 times 3 is 6, times 8 is 48, so 12 plus 48. And now 2 times 4 is 8 times 8, which is 64. So we have 12 plus 48 plus 64. And we'll get 124 square inches of paper. And that is for bag A. Now for bag B, we do the same thing. I'll do this one in blue just so we tell the difference. So S is equal to our length times our width, so length times width. So in this plus 2 times the width times the height, plus 2 times the length times the height. So in this case, we have our length times the width, which is 4 times 4, plus 2 times the width, which is 4, times the height of 6, plus 2 times the length of 4, times the height of 6. So simplifying, we have 16 plus 2 times 4 is 8 times 6, which is 48, plus another 48. So we have 16 plus 48 plus 48, and we'll get 112 inches squared of paper. So now if I want to know which bag the theater should choose, I would choose bag B. Bag B, because it uses less paper. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.